The first two major events of this format have come and gone besides the LCS. We had the two invitationals for North America this weekend. We're going to be breaking down those results for you guys, so please make sure you smash every living crap out that subscribe button, because this took a little while to put together, and I hope you guys would show support for that. So without further ado, let's dig into the breakdown from the first two big events from this weekend, shall we? The breakdown for Yeti, which was the first qualifier on Saturday. I believe this information was put together actually by Anthony. The image I actually have saved doesn't have anymore, but this was the Yeti Gaming qualifier. So we had 4 frickin' Dragon Link in top 4 actually. So this is the amazing part. First, second, third, and fourth were all straight Dragon Link across the board. Like this one was a little bit more meta than the rest of the other event, which is just absolutely crazy. But so the first event, you get that representation for what you really expected, which was Dragon Link is the best deck in the room, right? And then you start to look at Rogue here and you're like, what? So the first Rogue we have here is actually probably the most interesting, which is Grand Manju. And this was Danger Grand Manju as well, for those of you that are like, huh? So you just do the same thing that you've been doing all format with Grand Manju. You just gizmech dangers, you produce these large monsters on the field, they help you go through your deck, get to these additional resources, and then you summon big beat stick, beat down your opponent. I know it's very simple Yu-Gi-Oh! But to see that this actually did very well in this invitational is actually very cool. And then I see right underneath it here, frickin' Virtual World of all things. Do you know how exciting that actually is to see that we're still continuing to work out the bugs with Virtual World? Yes, I understand that, yeah, Dragon Link is like the best deck, but now Virtual World's bumped down to Rogue. It's got the chance to evolve with these cool concepts. Now, we also have Lyricalist here, which is actually really cool as well. I'm really glad to see that the Lyricalist Tri-Brigade is finally getting some love, because everybody projected it to be, top 5 very easily for this format, and I mean, while it should be, it is kind of getting knocked around a little bit. And then last but not least, we have Mech down here. Alright, gotta give it up for everybody's favorite Mech Knight Invoke deck. Hey man, Alistair plus light monsters, it's a pretty good concept, all things considered. So the first qualifier looks very bare bones basic, what you'd expect. Then you come along to Sunday's qualifier and you're like, well, what could have happened? Sunday is the holy mother of what in the world happened here. Now, we have 2 Dragon Link in this top cut. Alright, I don't know who got second, third, or fourth, but I can tell you that Trap Burning Abyss, piloted by Gabriel Vargas, ended up winning this event, which, I mean, is all nice and dandy. So, Trap BA won. I still don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. Like, it's kind of interesting. We had Eldlich down here. Alright, Zulich doing its thing, but of course, I mean, Zulich is, it's the go-to variant for a lot of people. And then, you see Numeron down there. Emmanuel Lilly. I should have an interview with Emmanuel later on in the week if all goes well. And we'll sit down and discuss his Numeron build. Later today, actually, for those of you that have been seeing me play on Dueling Book the last couple of days, you've probably seen me actually playing Numeron. So later on today, we're going to have Project Going Second go up, and I'll explain some things from my perspective and what I was seeing with the deck, and you guys will get the chance to see that, and then we'll have an interview with Emmanuel later on in the week. We also had Shadal Invoked Dogmatika do good for this event, which is actually really, really good. I mean, that was my old favorite Rogue pick. And then we had Dinosaur. Dinosaur's been up and down the spectrum for, like, Rogue, for, like, I don't know, like, it's supposed to be, like, the best deck according to everybody, and all of a sudden it bumps back down to Rogue. Like, I don't know what this deck is trying to do. And then we actually had the coolest thing next to Numeron. We had Stun. Alright? Now, Akano has been single bustering with this for so freaking long this week, right? Like, I wake up, I see this man play testing and going. I've been watching him play. He scooted in 8th place, which is a fantastic story, and I will also do a massive breakdown on this. His build is based off of some of the concepts I had. He changed a couple things to his personal preference, but I will have that stun list for you guys later on in the week as well, which is very, very cool. So the second qualifier, Numeron and Stun kind of wiggling their way on in there and doing some really cool stuff, is absolutely astonishing. All right, guys, we're going to pass it on over for some cool information from the second qualifier that I have. I wanted to share 2 screenshots that I had from this remote duel, which I chuckled at. The first one is POV, you're Gabe losing game 1. Enjoy that. It's absolutely beautiful. And the second screenshot is POV, you're Gabe at 200 life. And yes, that is a lava golem that's going to take him out of the game on his standby phase. All right, deck list that I have for this breakdown. The first one we have here is from John Wilkin, making top 8. And as I said, I don't know who got like 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. They're all just top 8 to me for this breakdown. So John here, we're on that 2 chamber and that 2 tidying. I like that. Now, one cool thing about this format is Phantasme has returned back to the fray as the hand trap connoisseur. Like, everybody has to link summon at this point in time. So now that you can defensively take advantage of like a draw filter to sculpt your hand into these better situations, it's actually really freaking good. All right, so going forward in this video, if you're like, well, what's the tech choice of the format, it's literally freaking Phantasme, man. Like, this card is so good. Also, only 1 knock division. I think everybody's kind of started to agree that 1 is the way to go. I know some people really try to push multiple of this, but I don't think that it's correct. We think we just stick with what we have for the 1-up. Outside of that, the monster lineup looks very, very standard for this. Dark Rule and No More is down here in the sideboard. It's a good sign when the format is so degenerate in terms of the top-heavy format finishers that DRNM just is the game breaker. Do notice, though, that it's DRNM and not Droplet that he's playing. At least for budgetary purposes, I mean, outside of talents, like, you don't have to get droplets as well for this. But I do like this list a lot. Also, shout out here to Red Reboot. Returning in a nice side deck fashion. Outside of that, this is pretty standard, honestly. Congratulations, John, for doing so well this weekend, actually. This is really cool. Next up, we have Dinosaurs. This was Justin Jones' top 8 list for everybody here as well. 1 Mystic Mine. I'm pretty sure that's just become the standard norm at this point. Like, you have to tech in some sort of Mystic Mine, or you're just not going to get the chance to really participate and play the game. Of course, we got the triple droplets, the triple lightning storms, and the triple talents to counteract the format. And our Dinosaur engine looks very small, and I feel like a few people are going to look at this and be a little bit intimidated and be like, that's so much smaller than it actually used to be. But to be fair, like, your whole like game plan here is just to kind of counteract the meta and go, so you can do it on a much smaller package now. Also, 2 extra, 2 prosperity split is actually kind of cool. Outside of that, hey, look, we're citing for our arch nemesis, Maximus. And we also have an Intis down here, actually. Also counter picking, so you got like whole 3 cards for that. Outside of that, deck looks pretty straightforward and very, very standard for what I would expect out of Dinosaurs at this point in time. Remember, if you're not playing the 1 Mystic Mine, you're not actually trying to be a dinosaur player. Also, I find this absolutely cute as well. Packing in the 1 frickin' Raigeki of all things for the blowout back on your opponent. Think about how in the year 2021 you drop Raigeki and you're like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Or you just Lightning Storm Raigeki in the same turn and just laugh at your opponent. It's so cute, actually. Next up, we have Ethan Lynn's list. Now, this is actually kind of interesting. So I was talking to Ethan, and he said he made budgetary options because he didn't have droplets and so forth, which is actually really good news for players. Now, honestly, Cursed Eldland is not a budget card anymore, but if you had Eldlich going into this point in time, you can be up in the air. So he did say that he picked Phantasmes and Dark Roller No Mores to replace those options, and to kind of curve out, he picked more generic hand traps to settle on in those matchups. So I do think that that's actually really important to note for this deck is you can do it on budgetary options. All right, DRNM is a fantastic sub option for the format. Outside of that, the lands used to counter dinosaurs. I do like the one bunny blast. I know a lot of people kind of feel indifferent about this, but it's good, people. All right, considering your entire deck's objective is to make Big Zeus pass, like, you do just that. Outside of that, I really want to say that there's nothing else too exciting that I can say here. It looks very, very standard. Other than I just wanted to include the notes here for this. Also, D-Shifter. That's cute. I like that. And the last list that I have for you guys here is actually the Invoked Dogmatika package here. This was from Bruce George. Remember, all these duels did make top 8 for this. So, small package here of Ecclesia, Fleur-de-Lis, the triple Nadirs, and the 2 punishments. Standard, 7 cards. No Maximus for this deck, by the way. Do want to point that out. And we are hard-hitting here with maximized super polying. Alright. Hey, look. 2 invocations. Never try to play 3. Alright, you're just being crazy at that point. Extra deck down here looks very, very standard. I don't see anything that's too out of the norm. The straight 2/2/2 ofs we're still countering down here with our friend. Hey, look, Nintus. And, yep, there's the Dark Roll No Mores. And no droplets. Yeah, DRNM's looking really good. Because all you do is just break your opponent's board and then capitalize back off of it. So, Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Nutshell 101. So, congratulations to George, Ethan, Justin, and John here for all doing well this weekend. And, of course, guys, make sure you smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. So, when I do go more in-depth with Emmanuel and the stun list later on in the week here, when we cover those profiles, you guys don't miss out on those. And, of course, I just said smash the ever-living crap out of the subscribe button. You guys can do that for me. All right, see your beautiful faces back here later on in the day for some more cool, awesome content. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.